Beautiful nature. Living in your car brings you closer to it. I have a whole Living in Your Car series about to drop, so be sure you are subscribed for all the great value. I'm very excited about this one, so let's get right into it.
So I decided to move into my Jeep for 400 days simply because I own a business and I wanted to move my money and invest my money quicker versus rather than having to invest slowly. So if I would have spent that money on my now, I would have seen business growth a little slower. So instead of me using money, I invested my money and I'm living in my car. Now, of course, it has pros and cons living inside a car. For me, I've always been a adventurous type of person, and I've always wanted to explore to see kind of what's out there in the world.
You know, it took me 6 months to actually get comfortable living in my car. And half of the time, it wasn't even for comfort. The majority of the time, I was trying to understand how I could turn everything I do into a smooth process. For example, how I used to wash clothes is completely different now. So typically, I would just go to laundromat, right? But here was my thing with that. I would go to the laundromat with clothes that needed to be washed on. So then I came up with this solution. I was like, okay, let me just, instead of going to the laundromat with dirty clothes on, let me go to the gym that morning before I go wash clothes. That way I can have on clean clothes. And then after I leave the gym with my dirty clothes, go wash. I don't know if you can hear the helicopter, but it's coming above. But I'm like, okay, well, how can I wash all of my clean clothes, all of my dirty clothes together? So I did that, right? So I had to realize that if I go to the gym that same morning, I would be able to have all of my dirty clothes all at once and wash them all at once. Because typically when I wash my dirty clothes, I also wash like my blankets, I wash my pillowcase and my sleeping bag. Even though I don't sleep inside the sleeping bag, I still wash it every time because, not gonna lie to you, in this car I sweat. At night I sweat like I'm dripping sweat. Some nights my shirts might smell like dill pickles because I just be sweaty just that much. But luckily I have all of my clothes inside this suitcase right here, if you can see it. So it's not even a full-size suitcase. I know you've seen it in other videos if you have watched other videos. Actually, you haven't watched other videos because I haven't dropped the other videos about Jeep life. But typically I keep all of my clothes inside my suitcase, and I only have enough clothes for 7 days. So I have to wash all of my clothes once a week. Now, wear and tear on the clothes are very noticeable when you wear the same clothes every 7 days. And I have a lot of clothes that are they got stitching. Let me see if you can see this. You see how the string is loose? Well, it's sticking like that on most of my clothes. But overall, this experience has been interesting, and I've learned how to adapt and overcome in different situations and different environments, from rainy days to days where it's hot in the car, from days where people park super close to me, from days to where I just get tired of being claustrophobic. It still showed me how to be strong and how to just be kind of a free spirit when it comes to being adaptable in different environments. I park places like this on sides of hills and things very often. I feel like the wind speaks to me, and I just channel and I receive this new energy. So I mean, it's just, for me, it's great. I really love it so much. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
We are recording. So, I did not tell my family that I was living in my car, partly because I knew one side of my family wasn't going to approve of it, none whatsoever. So I decided not to tell them. I believe 2 months before I was about to leave my car, some of the family members started to find out, and then when some started to find out, then I just went ahead and told some of the family who had curiosity. There's still some family members right now that don't know, but believe it or not, I have some family members that support it, some family that don't care, some family that only wants me safe. But then you have the other side of the family that doesn't understand why I'm doing this. And I'm sure you guys are watching and you finally understand why I'm doing this. If you continue to watch, you will see exactly what I have planned. But that was kind of one of my biggest things, was what do people say? What will people feel about me living in my car? But at the same time, they don't put anything on your plate. They don't send you food. I mean, they're not doing anything for me. Therefore, I shouldn't care how they feel about me in my car. You know, yes, I'm safe. Yes, I have a weapon that if someone come upon, I will pow pow, whatever. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, I feel happier now that they know that I live in my car, and it worked how it did, how it was supposed to, and I don't have any regrets about it, none whatsoever. So if you watch one of my earlier videos when I first started, I think the title was, Bro, I'm So Confused. It got like 1.1 thousand views. That was actually when I was preparing to live inside my car. I know for sure that was over a year ago, but I was literally buying that portable shower that you saw for this, and I was showing you my empty apartment because I was preparing for this. So let me give you a backstory. I actually left my apartment to come live in my car, but I sold all of my furniture just to buy the nice memory foam mattress that I sleep on, the screens. I mean, every miscellaneous piece of product that I use for living in my car, I used that money from my old apartment. Now, that's just how I invest. I never use new money to buy any type of material belongings. I always sell something that I don't need to buy new things. It's just how I am. I'm just like that. So as far as a daily routine, that really configure around your lifestyle and what you do on a daily basis. For me, I have businesses, so I'm able to just live out of my car. So I only stay in 5 different spots living in my car as a part of my routine. If you want to see my recommendation spots to live, please subscribe and stay tuned. I have an entire car living series, and one video is places to sleep while you're living in your car, and I got some great ones. Right now I'm at a movie theater, and that's one place on my list. So living in a limited space, it has tremendously impacted my life. You know, even when I was in apartments, I was always a person that didn't have a lot of extra belongings. I only had the essentials, and dumbing everything down, like all of my clothes to fit in here, was great. Now, these are all my underclothes and just my daily wear, stuff like this. Now, I have dress clothes and things like that if I'm doing something formal or something casual that I need to look more fancy, I have a storage unit where I store like wardrobe boxes full of clothes. So these are not all my clothes, just know. So people are very welcoming. I mean, I've had a lot of people in my life who know me that I told I live in my car, and some people offered for me to stay with them without pay. Some people told me I could stay with them and pay a little bit. Some people just curious about it. You know, I've gotten so many mixed reactions about me living in my car. I just feel the love in everybody. And even with people who also live in their cars, you know, especially the recurring places that I sleep, I know a familiar face when I see it. I actually have an idea once like this video is complete, and I probably won't get this on camera, but I want to go give like this mattress and the fan and certain things that I use to one particular lady that's, I believe she's in her 70s and she lives in her SUV, and it don't look comfortable. I can kind of see through her car and see her setup, and I just want to give her something that will make her time in her car more comfortable and relaxing. Also guys, anything that I have in this car, if you watch another one of my videos on my future series that's coming out, I'll have links so you can be able to go and purchase everything that I have and everything that I use. And in the 400-day journey in my car, I think I'm excited, but to be honest, I'm just now getting comfortable with being in my car. Like, I'm just now getting comfortable. It took an entire year for me to get comfortable living in a car versus what it's like living in a house. I'm never going to take this for granted, because this has healed me in so many ways. I have gotten so closer to nature. I've gotten closer to people, believe it or not, just by living in my car, just opening up to them. That takes our relationship on the deeper surface. I feel like when I meet my wife, she looks back on this, I done this for you. I'm sure you're gonna see this. I'm doing this for you in the past tense. When you're watching this now, it's all done and it's all complete. But to be honest with you, you know, I had great spirits coming into my car because I knew my purpose of doing this. Yes, I didn't have to do it. It was a choice and I chose to do it. And I do not regret it, none whatsoever. Even with the hard days, I do not regret it. So guys, again, I know this was a very interesting video. For the people that don't know me, I'm Jerry. I'm from Alabama originally, and currently while you're watching this video, I am still in Alabama, but when I release it, I will not be in Alabama anymore. But I am 21 years old. I've been working for myself for at least 7 years now, at minimum, and this is kind of where my career has taken me. I remember when I was younger with my stepdad and my mom, we used to build forts in our living room and just sleep and camp out in the living room. My neighbors would have pop-up campers, and we would just like literally attach his truck or her dad's truck to the camper and just back it into the front yard, and we would camp out in the front yard. So these environments that I'm in, like this whole car life thing, it came from when I was younger and I used to camp out and I used to enjoy being in many atmospheres where I can sleep in new places. So this is a part of my adventurous spirit that I have that allowed me to pursue living 400 days in this car. I love my Jeep so much. This is actually my dream vehicle. For you guys who are curious, this is a 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk, and I love it so much, so much. Where I'm going, it's going to be used where I'm going. I'm moving to Colorado, and you know, it's all 4-wheel drive. It got a snow mode, it got a sand mode, a dirt mode, a mud mode. I mean, it's perfect. So I'm very excited to put it on some trails and just actually use this off-road vehicle how it's meant to be. If you guys like this video, please subscribe. Give me a like, give me a comment. Let's build a connection here, all right? And stay tuned, because I have the entire Jeep series coming out, and I'm going to get into detail with every piece of material that I have that I use on a daily basis for you guys and your future car living. If you have any questions, please reach out to me on Instagram at Jerry's Folder. I can respond back quicker to Instagram than I can on YouTube, because I just run too many accounts apparently. So Instagram, Jerry's Folder, if you have any immediate questions, and I will answer them for you. Meanwhile, hope you guys like this video. Please binge watch some other random videos until the Jeep series come out, and until next time, thank you guys for watching. my face.